Hello everybody and welcome to the ESI Digest, where we run through the biggest esports business related news stories of the week. I'm your host Tom Daniels, the sub-editor of Esports Insider, and today we have 5 huge news stories. But first I would like to thank our partners REELY.AI for sponsoring this episode. If you do want to check out their fan engagement and content services, then head over to their website right now. So in this week's ESI Digest, we're going to be chatting about CMG.ASIA and NRG Esports launching NRG Asia and acquiring GAM Esports in the process. London Royal Ravens also announcing a partnership with esports betting platform Midnite. Enthusiast Gaming acquiring Tabwire whilst also unveiling their gaming social network plans. Global Esports Games finally unveiling their first host cities. And then finally we're going to be chatting about FaZe Clan announcing Kai Henry as its Chief Strategy Officer. Our first story of the ESI Digest sees North American esports organisation NRG Esports announce a partnership with Vietnamese lifestyle and entertainment company CMG.ASIA to launch NRG Asia. Now NRG Asia is a management company and a media company that will look to represent and develop esports entities in Southeast Asia, and as part of this whole venture, both entities have announced that they have acquired League of Legends team GAM Esports. Prior to being called GAM Esports, they were formerly known as the Gigabyte Marines, and they are the current VCS League of Legends champions. Now, NRG Asia acquired this League of Legends team from marketing agency Yup.gg. Financial terms of the acquisition have not been revealed. However, this is a significant purchase in NRG's expansion now into League of Legends as well. According to the release, NRG Asia will provide top quality training, resources, and infrastructure towards GAM Esports, who we don't know have yet to announce if they are changing their name or they are sticking with the GAM Esports brand. Moreover, this deal really signifies NRG's global expansion. Obviously, we know that they've got the Overwatch team, San Francisco Shock. They currently own Optic Chicago. However, with the recent Hex rumors and about acquiring Optic Gaming, that's a little bit up in the air. But then they also have the Rocket League team, the General NRG. So this is actually a really big kind of deal, not just from going into League of Legends, but actually also to expand into other regions. Overall, I think it's great the fact that NRG have partnered with CMG.ASIA. It's a Vietnamese company. They've acquired a Vietnamese team. I believe that CMG.ASIA will probably know a lot about kind of the intricacies within the regions. And actually, when you're going into a completely different region, it's important to know those things. So I'm glad that NRG Asia is kind of having a little bit of a subset towards NRG itself. And I think that that's actually a really smart move, especially when you're trying to look at other territories. Next up, Rec Global's Call of Duty League franchise, the London Royal Ravens, has announced a partnership with esports and sports betting platform Midnite. Now, according to the release, the partnership will include a jersey sponsorship alongside content creation, with activations expected to be announced at a later date. Now, exact details regarding the actual activations itself with the partnership have not been revealed. However, it is extremely significant to know that we are getting a jersey sponsorship from a betting platform on a Call of Duty League franchise. And obviously this led to sources come out and said that the Call of Duty League and potentially the Overwatch League are looking to loosen sponsorship restrictions to allow betting and liqueur sponsorships. And if this is true, then that means there's going to be potentially a lot more revenue hopefully coming into both of these leagues and both of these teams as well. Now, obviously, you've got to caveat that with the fact that this has to be done responsibly. It has to be done in the correct manner, because obviously when it's betting, when it's liqueur, and also when there are viewers who are younger in terms of age, you've got to make sure that the correct guidelines are followed and that the correct steps are taken to make sure that this partnership not only is good and luxurious for the organizations, for the team, but it's also done in like a safe way. Our third story sees Luminosity Gaming, the parent company of Enthusiast Gaming, announce plans to develop a subscription-based social media platform for gamers. They've codenamed this Project GG. Now, this subscription-based social media platform is expected to be released sometime this year, is what they've said. They've not put a specific date on it. They've just said later this year. But for those who don't know what Tabwire is, they provide gamers with the ability to track their player and game stats by way of registered user profiles. And it has built game gameplay companion tools already for Valorant and Rainbow Six Siege. Now, Tabwire have confirmed that their service will remain free, and there will be subscriptions on top of that which will boost it. However, it is also unsure whether Project GG will completely replace Tabwire, or Tabwire will be simply an extension of Project.gg. Honestly, Enthusiast Gaming just wants to keep acquiring esports businesses as part of their global development plans. They've already announced the confirmed purchase now of Icy Veins earlier this week. I think it's really interesting to see a subscription-based model, and I wonder how it will work. Obviously, now we're seeing the rise of gaming-focused social media platforms. We've seen it with eFuse, who have kind of, quote-unquote, wanted to make themselves the LinkedIn for gamers, and I think this is a different approach to this social media platform, specifically towards the competitive gaming, esports kind of sector. I wonder how it will go. I'm really excited to kind of see how this Project GG is developed, whether it will remain that. It looks like it's just the code name right now. However, I wonder what they're going to kind of rebrand it to be. Will it include Tabwire? There's a lot of spinning details in this. Our penultimate story of the ESI Digest sees us talk about the Global Esports Federation, and to be exact, they have announced the first 3 host cities for the Global Esports Games, which is a multi-title esports competition expected to be annual. And these 3 host cities are Singapore, Istanbul, and Riyadh. Now, the announcement states that Singapore will host this year's event, which is scheduled to take place in December, with Istanbul and Riyadh hosting the Global Esports Games in 2022 and 2023, respectively. Now, for those who don't know about the Global Esports Games, like I said, it was announced, I believe, in 2020, and they are claiming that they will feature teams from across the world, participating in competitions across a variety of titles. However, unfortunately, it is yet to be revealed what titles will be used for this event. I really hope that they announce the titles as soon as possible, because as it gets closer and closer to the event, which, like I said, it's in December, it does worry me the fact that none of these titles have been revealed yet. And, you know, I wonder if we're going to see, like, the top tier, A-tier titles included in this Global Esports Games, which I would expect to have, really. To conclude this story, the Global Esports Federation has also announced that its convention series, GEF Con, and GEF Festival, which is meant to be an event that celebrates esports culture through music, art, technology, fashion, and food, are expected to run in parallel with the Global Esports Games. So they're trying to make this very much feel like, and obviously we've had it with the Olympic Virtual Series now, but like the Olympics of esports. And I do think that actually the premise of it could be really good. I just hope the execution of it goes well. Right now, it's good that we're actually getting, 3 years of events right now in terms of who is hosting it. I actually think the countries themselves hosting it makes sense. Obviously, Singapore was probably a very obvious one, given Global Esports Federation, I believe, being based in Singapore as well. I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing what this does, but right now I'm going to hold my optimism until we find out what the titles are. Our final story of the ESI Digest sees FaZe Clan announce that Kai Henry has become the organization's new Chief Strategy Officer. Now, as part of his new role, Henry will oversee all of FaZe Clan's creative strategy, which includes being tasked with expanding and steering the organization's creative hub, which also, intertwines partnerships and other potential kind of revenue opportunities for them. As such, the role will see Henry work alongside founding members of FaZe Clan, who will lead all creative decision-making for the organisation. Now, for those who don't know a lot about Henry, prior to joining FaZe Clan, according to the organisation, he has garnered over 15 years' experience as an executive and an entrepreneur. He's previously managed artists such as Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube, while also co-founding YouTube platform Ski TV, streetwear firm N Noir Clothing, and audio brand Salt Republic Headphones. FaZe Clan also told ESI that Henry has already been working with the organisation for a few months prior to the announcement, so it's very likely that some of the strategic decisions which have come through FaZe Clan very recently could have Henry's involvement in this. FaZe Clan also announced that alongside being the Chief Strategy Officer, Henry will still remain involved with many of the firms which he has co-founded throughout. So it'll be very interesting to see how, Henry can kind of juggle both of these responsibilities, and maybe that means that there will be potential crossover between these entities and FaZe Clan itself. Only time will tell with this, but overall, it definitely seems that this appointment fits FaZe Clan's MO. And that's it for this week's ESI Digest. If you do want to check out all of the stories which I have mentioned, plus many more, then head over to Esports Insider's website. Once again, I'd like to thank our partners REELY.AI for sponsoring this episode, and also don't forget to check us out on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on any social platforms. We'll be there, definitely. And if you want to check me out as well, then don't forget to check me out on Twitter at TheTomDaniels. But until then, I'll see you next week.